In 1981, Don Kirchner was convicted for his involvement in a marijuana smuggling operation. When he was released from federal prison 7 years later, he put what he learned behind bars to use and founded the Society for Return to Honor, a way to help former criminal offenders back into society. And he joins us now in the studio. Welcome to Arizona Illustrated.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it.
Let's talk about the society. Why did you decide to do that? Was there something in prison that you learned or you saw in particular one moment that made you decide, maybe a subculture or something like that, that we needed some help outside?
Oh, for sure. Initially, it was a survival instinct of mine, born of the fact that I was everything they hated. I was white, educated, and male. So as far as any of them were concerned, I was a government snitch, a plant, somebody that was there to harm them. So I was confronted daily with the likely prospect of physical violence or whatever. And so I discovered, I spoke enough Spanish that I was able to at least begin to cultivate a few sort of friendships with the Latino inmates. And at that particular facility, it was 70% Latino. So that was a big breakthrough for me when the first one would actually start spending some time with me, and I started teaching them reading and writing, English basic grammar, and that led to actually getting GED materials. And over the period of the next 4 months, I was able to actually get a class going in within the cell block itself, and it changed the attitudes of a lot of the inmates in there when they realized that somebody actually cared enough that wasn't out to get something from them. And then what I began to discover over that period of time, and then into the other facilities where I was over the next couple of years, found out that a surprising, even shocking number of these so-called gladiators with their tattoos and their scars and so forth were really quite capable, quite intelligent, and really eager to want to do something with their lives.
Now, you wrote a book about your life, A Matter of Time, a true story. And you use that as kind of a launching point, I guess, and now you're also going to be teaching classes, I understand, at the Pima Detention Facility based on what you learned.
That's correct. I've just received in the last few weeks approval to begin a series of classes, self-awareness classes at the county detention facility. I also teach classes to correctional officers at the Coconino County facility in Flagstaff, and they have discovered over a period of just even a few months significant decrease in incidents of violence and problems between the inmates and the officers, because the officers are beginning to understand that these inmates aren't quite what they thought they were either.
So I guess you're saying there are some in prison that do have some redeeming qualities if they want to change.
Actually, more than not. They have more. I was shocked to find that more than half really do have redeeming qualities. They've just made a lot of the wrong turns in their lives, and most of them never had a chance to begin with. I'm not saying that I condone in any way their actions or their behavior, but when they discover, when they're in there, that somebody cares enough and that they really can learn something and do something meaningful with their lives, you'd be amazed at the transformation that can happen.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us. And a note, Don will be signing his book, A Matter of Time, Saturday at 2 at the Barnes & Noble at 5130 East Broadway, and then Sunday at the Barnes & Noble in the Foothills Mall.